Welcome to another great game of football. If you like action, you're in for a treat here.
It's up for grabs now! Thomas!
Oh, take him out, son. I mean that, take him out.
It was just fantastic.
Nagi Sampson, you boys took the hell of a beating.
Oh no! Scorchio! How did he miss?
Balotelli, Aguero!
Come on, fam. Real talk, lad.
Lovely cushion header. Pajero! Oh, you beauty! What a head, son! What a head!
Look at this touch. Wonderful. Rates his look, but then he sees the tiniest window open. Gol del Barcelona!
Morocco moving it infield, creating space now. He's taking on the defence by himself.
Diggs gets past Vieira, past Dixon. Comes back at him. It's a wonderful run from Giggs! Sensational goal from Ryan Giggs!
Madrid's defence stretched out like spandex on Miami Beach, and Casillas is left naked again.
You tried kicking the goal, you hit me? Some fucking brains, didn't you?
When the seagulls follow the trawler, it's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea.
Henry para Messi. Messi, el pase para Henry es buenísimo. Henry, gol. Gol, 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 gol. What a he did it again. And it's the goal.
About football in a room, that's fine, you can do that as well, but if you want to see some visual stuff, get on the YouTubes, because we've got FIFA 18 and it's awesome, and we're going to try and play it the best we can.
So that was an interesting lapo overlap then, because that's no in though. That's in.
They got the YouTubers got a little bit of what the Facebookers get.
A lot of guff that you have to put up with over there.
So yeah, give the YouTubes a go. Yeah.
Not all. No, just...
I was going to say Twitch as well, but...
They go on Twitch.
Let's stick to YouTube, because it's still... Oh, those are some fantastic... Look at the kits. If you could see these kits. Look at these kits. They're incredible.
You're missing out on the kits.
Wow.
They're great kits.
That is awesome. So, yeah, I'll play you some Run the Jewels later.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I
think you'll enjoy it.
You need to start properly now, because that is actually... that's the real thing over there.
Calhoun it!
Welcome again. This is week, what are we now? 12. We're week 12. This is the FIFA Ramble podcast and FIFA 18 live stream.
What?
Now, yeah.
What?
Brought to you by the Calhoun Review. My name is Luke.
I'm Wormatron.
Alexi, hello.
And we are here again to talk to you about football.
Jewels things.
Talk some shit. And yeah, play some FIFA 18.
And Luke's going to try not to be beaten.
I'm going to do my best.
Yeah.
There's no guarantees. Before we start properly, though, I've got something to give you two.
Have you?
I've got something to give you both. I was out on the weekend.
This isn't staged either, so
I genuinely have got something. It's not anything major. As
I said,
out with my wife and my children on the weekend.
Lovely.
And I was getting some stuff, and I saw something, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to present them with these. So I brought you each of you a Soccer Stars Elite.
Well, this is incredible.
Minifigure. Now, you could get them open, but I thought the element of surprise was gone. You both have a Soccer Stars Elite.
And this could be anything.
It could be anywhere.
Can I open mine?
You can open them live.
Because I kept a bag of Pogs, and they're still unopened. And the mystery was there. But I really want to open this.
Do you want to swap?
Oh, swap.
It doesn't go do.
Okay.
No, I saw him and I thought, you know, I know two people who will appreciate that on Wednesday.
Really well. Right, you go first then. Gentleman first.
Okay, well, this
While you do that, I'm going to buy some football boots.
I really hope these people who are good.
You got the boy.
Messi.
You got Messi Ozil. Why are you showing them?
Yeah, they get.
They get fuck all. Skin.
They get that.
They get fuck all. Show them.
They get it.
Right, you've sort of shown.
Why aren't you showing them?
Let these eat cake.
He's going to kick the microphone. He's going to do all sorts.
Microphone.
So you got measured or That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm going to get like Danny Simpson, aren't I?
I really hope. I've sort of got.
If I get Jamie Vardy, I like it.
I was just about to say the one that I want you to get the most is Jamie Vardy.
Robert who?
He won't be
Maguire.
Well, Alex obviously changed.
This is disappointing. This is so fucking disappointing. It's not Oxlade. I'll be alright with that. I really would. I've got fucking Mbula. I've got Mbula from Stoke. So
He doesn't play for him anymore.
He doesn't even play for him anymore. He's not even in the Premier League.
Is he in your fantasy football team?
He's not. I've dropped him.
Is he? Yeah.
I've dropped him and I've lost him.
I'm going down.
His thigh muscles here.
He's between my PlayStation 3, my
Can I keep
N64.
I got him.
What, to mock me?
Can I think we can both share because I want to play with.
Yeah, well, you can go on the thing. I mean, he's not Jesus or a Power Ranger, but he can go there. So there's the proof there. There is Mbula. Yeah, I mean, he's probably not in the top 5 footballers I would have wanted. Probably in the 5 bottom. He's got his little streak ahead. Are you going to put him back? Are we going to put him back over there?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Mr.
That was really kind. Thanks very much.
That's not a problem. I saw him and I thought,
put that down as a business expense. That's tax deductible.
That is tax deductible.
None of them are joined on. Could that?
Is that a checklist?
Foil bag range.
How many are there? 40.
Oh, Okazaki, I would have taken that.
You could have
If I'd have had Okazaki, that would have been. Well, I would have been over the moon.
The Shaqiri one looks very lifelike.
Yeah, Shaqiri looks loads like him. Ozil looks really good as well.
Looks really good. I genuinely couldn't have been happier with who you got then. Right,
lovely.
This is going to last forever. So what you need to do is tell all those people to go.
I've sent the link,
and I said go over to the YouTube.
If you wouldn't mind, if you click that link and head over to YouTube.
Be careful your feet.
I know a lot of people like commenting on Facebook, but YouTube's amazing now. You can comment on there too.
See FIFA.
It takes seconds. You just sign up. You can subscribe as well on there. Get notified when
easy,
we're live,
too
everything.
easy.
It's so easy.
Too easy, if anything.
Oh.
Too bloody easy.
It is. Right, I am going to do the 5 League Oldham. If you go over there, you can see me buying a load of stuff that I've already bought in all the other FIFAs on this.
Kit special.
Kit special.
Spectacular.
Right, we'll worry about that another time. Oh, the promise of Rajan Nainggolan on a.
Nainggolan.
So we're gonna do this game first, do we?
Yeah.
Fine.
Benfica.
Okay.
So first game for all you losers not over on the YouTube is going to be Sporting versus Benfica.
The important thing to say is, and this is kind of a unilateral decision by me, like you need to start getting over there anyway, because we're going to stop doing Facebook at some point because it's nowhere near as good.
It's not as good.
And I don't mean that as in I prefer YouTube or Twitch over Facebook. You just don't have the overlay. You don't actually see the FIFA. You don't see the intro or the outro. So we will be stopping.
It's good because like you do see us ramble, but that's all you see.
That's all you see.
Instead of this colour, this graphics. Ooh. Lots going on. Lots going on right now.
Too much going on, if anything.
If you could only see.
Shall we...
Yeah, you better get started because we need this one to not last forever.
Yep.
Right, let's do the Premier Roundup now then.
Get stuck into Liverpool. Straight in.
Right, no, first game was West Ham 2, Spurs 3.
Yes.
It's a very good game. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought Dele Alli, which a lot of people said he had a good game. I thought he had a fucking shocker.
Yeah, but he can do no wrong, can he?
I thought he had an absolute shocker. He was holding on the ball far too long. There was a lot of he was caught in possession an awful lot.
I think
he was kept inside when there's a runner going past him, but he's still holding on to the ball, trying to cut inside. He's trying to do. I don't know. He's just trying to do too much. I think Christian Eriksen was just doing what Christian Eriksen does best.
And now he's getting accredited for doing what Christian Eriksen does. I think the result doesn't really transition from like what Spurs pulled out. Like they were all over him, and then it was a late burst from West Ham. Like it's a bit forgiving on West Ham.
Well, if it wasn't for Serge doing what Serge can do, it would have been an absolute lily whitewash. Wouldn't it?
Very good. He hasn't got a particularly bad. Serge Aurier has got a particularly bad card and sending off track record.
He's just got one of those sort of.
It was a stupid move, that the second yellow, wasn't it? It was
done.
Basic.
He needed not to. Yeah, like I mean, I'm not going to disagree, but I don't think it was. I think it was all that bad. I really don't.
It's just I just thought it was a silly move, really.
You'd just be livid if that was your centre forward doing it, I suppose, wouldn't you?
What do you think of Sissoko?
I thought he had an alright game.
I think
he's a good player. But
I think everyone's harsh on him now. He is beginning to get there.
Is he one of those players which has suffered from stuff which he couldn't, control, which was his?
But he's got nothing to lose now. If everyone's written him off, that's fine. Like you can just go at it.
Based on they paid a lot of money for him.
But he won't be the first. He won't be the first player. He won't be the last player to be judged by his the cost. But that's not like others have said. Like, it's not his fault how much he costs. Like, he didn't decide to cost that much money in the slightest. And
how much was he in?
He's about 30.
Was he? Yeah, I was going to say he's like just 30 million or so, wasn't he?
Which now doesn't seem that much, but back then.
No, you get yourself
is it moons ago?
It seemed an awful.
You get a Francis Benali for 30 million in this transfer market.
Like a Livermore.
Jesus Christ, you really would get a Livermore as well. Yeah,
if you are international.
If you are in over at YouTube, like, do feel free to comment because we can read it and respond. We got all the chats up
because we like you better than Facebook.
Like so much more, so much more.
No offence.
No offence. I don't know why you're being polite to these people. They've had 12 weeks.
Yeah.
There's like there are creatures that have got shorter gestation periods than that, and you're fucking Homo sapiens.
But thank you for watching. Is what you're saying.
I'm not saying that. Don't speak for me. That'll be a penalty.
That's penalty straight away. 2 minutes in. It's going to be a feisty one.
He's not getting booked for that.
Next
Liverpool.
game.
Come on.
No. Next game was Burnley 0, Huddersfield 0.
Yeah.
Okay, a snooze past that one.
It wasn't a snooze game though. To be fair, I thought it was a really good game of football. Huddersfield looked really good. I mean, they're all right between them both.
I think Burnley looked very good this season.
That's delightful. That's not only is a Baz Dost goal. It is a Baz Dost goal when Skinner's dived the right way. Livid. He's absolutely livid there.
Goalkeeper's union going to be kicking them out.
I think there's loads to see there. I really do. I thought it was a good game of football. Really enjoyed it.
A good sight. I mean, Huddersfield has surprised me this season. I mean, and it's probably unfairly so because I just assumed that them and Brighton would both really struggle. Newcastle will kind of be alright, but very early on we did say that because Huddersfield and Brighton came up with more of a sort of team almost feel.
Yeah.
Whereas Newcastle were very reliant on Gale and Ritchie in particular, that if those two players were off the boil, they would struggle.
Well, that's what we said all along, that you score an awful lot of goals. They got scored an awful lot of goals to get promoted. But I think they conceded like the 5th most in the championship or something. Like for the whole championship, like that is.
Well, they did what I know he's starting to talk about him, but they did what Liverpool seem to be doing now, where like we're going to concede a fat load of goals, so we have to score at least 3 or 4, or we're not even going to be in a shot of winning.
You've got two wonderful managers there in Sean Dyche and Wagner.
Yeah,
I hate Sean Dyche.
But look, he's useful for that system. Like he's proved it, and like you've got to love the Burnley laurels of like, okay, well. It's not a life or death thing. We're still going to keep the group together if we get relegated or not. We're not going to change. We'll just try it again next year. And they have done, and they proved it, and it's a system that works. And I like that ethos.
Yeah, no, it's good. I do like Sean Dyche. I think he gets seen as, because he looks like a 1970s bouncer. I think he gets written off as, just a very one-track sort of coach. And I think there's more to him than that.
Oh, I really don't. I see him as the absolute stereotypical British manager who paints themselves as considerably more than than what he actually is, and I think that without being too reductive, I think he's exactly what he looks like. He is a bouncer. Like, he is a guy who has got some kind of footballing acumen.
Looks
but
like a Hale and Pace character.
He looks like both of them
If you put
combined.
Eddie Howe with Sean Dyche,
If you crossed Eddie Howe with a Cadbury's cream egg,
Yeah,
it would look like Sean Dyche.
yeah. We said it before. He looks like a sandy ball bag on a beach. That's what he
beard.
is. But I do. But no, I quite liked it. Burnley Huddersfield. I thought it was good. I didn't watch all of it because United were on at 3 on Saturday. But I did.
Well, I don't know. So you listened to that on the wireless, presumably, did you? Because that's not broadcast anywhere in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
You watched it on the wireless, yeah?
Yeah,
That's good.
I did.
Phew.
I did.
We don't condone.
Yeah.
We don't condone watching 3 o'clock kickoffs on this vlog.
My wife, bless her, is in, and she has done her usual. But what she said is, when you score a goal, can you take your tops off in celebratory glory? Which, weirdly, I was going to ask if you can do that on FIFA 18. Can you take your shirt off and get booked for it? Because if you can't, you should.
Why?
No, you should. Because I quite like the idea of it. Because I want to see Bakary Sagna, if he's on yet, as a free transfer in career mode. I want to see him and his Peter Andre-esque.
He is unreal, that man.
it's like a bloody washboard.
But yeah,
Ludovine does do her
we
washing
might.
on his stomach. That's official. In fact, that's not true. He's such a modern man that actually Bakary Sagna does the washing in that house because he's a French gentleman.
And he's not working at the moment, so.
He's down at the job centre.
West Ham.
The football job centre.
No, it's down the actual job centre. Just queue it up.
I love the idea of like all the free transfers just being in one specific place.
Yeah, just all waiting.
Just picking up your gyro. What's
They're
that? Bit of Lucozade.
Harry Redknapp behind.
I was going to say,
Harry Redknapp behind the counter. Wait your turn back.
Yeah.
do you think
Just
the
rubbing
managers,
his little hands
the managers
together.
do it as well?
It's only a matter of time before Oldham ring me, son. I'll be on the phone. Next game was Everton 2, Bournemouth 1.
Everton.
There's
Didn't
quite
see
a lot
it.
to talk about there.
Go on then.
Well, one, Koeman was, finally listened to us all.
Yeah.
Last week we said, when Skinner went on his Everton defensive rant, we said, is it time that Everton stop playing 3 centre-backs, 2 wing-backs? And they did. They played 4 at the back. It turns out that's because of injury, which was a bit disappointing. Because I think, as we know, Koeman does love a little bit of the FIFA Ramble. But yeah, it was a better performance from Everton. Somewhat, they were losing for a large part of the game, but they did look better. They played Calvert-Lewin up front with Sigurdsson and Rooney tucked in.
Sigurdsson, oh
yeah. Sigurdsson and Rooney were sort of occupying the number 10 roles.
What, as a pair?
Yeah, they were tucked in behind the striker. They played very, very narrow. I think they finally realised. I think Koeman has finally realised he don't actually have any wingers.
Which is good because he really doesn't have any wingers.
No, he don't have any. But he's been playing Sigurdsson out wide, and then people are sort of wondering, why is he gone off the boil or whatever. But I mean, as we tweeted out this week, it's just a case of, has he really gone off the boil as such?
Well, no, he's doing exactly what the metrics suggested he was doing.
Yeah.
It's almost like analysis and analytics know what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, he scored a good goal though when he first turned his debut well.
Yeah, it was good. Well, it was a bit of luck to it, I reckon.
You always have it.
The other thing was the 2 goals by Niasse.
Yes.
Who at
he's a bit of a pain.
Well, he was dropped when he was told that he was surplus to requirements.
There was a huge thing there, yeah. Do you know what that was caused from? Did you see his interview after the game?
Well, the rumour is that
he was very
Koeman
humble.
judged him after half a game of a pre-league, pre-season friendly.
It was a very humble interview. One of the most humblest. Just like, I'm pleased to be here. I'm happy to score. Like,
but he fucked a lot of things because basically it looks as though he's got in because Koeman has just realised, I got to do something different,
Oh shit!
Oh my god! No. He tackled the keeper off the ball.
I mean, that's a straight red card, is it not?
He's just telling him to calm down. It's Sporting Benfica.
This is unbelievable.
That's not a straight red.
He didn't take him out, did he?
Well, you're nowhere near the ball.
I mean, other than chopping both of his Achilles tendons.
Yeah. But yeah, Niasse was not. He he was training with the under-23s. He had his squad number taken off him.
His locker is with the under-23s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was told that he was
Like they
surplus to
care.
requirements. They tried to sell him to, I believe, it was Palace. I think. It may have been someone else. And it was so bad that Everton didn't give him a club suit. So he had to walk. He had to, like, after the game, he was in a tracksuit. Everyone else in a suit. He's in a tracksuit.
I don't want to jump ahead, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
Tony Pulis manages games in tracksuits and then changes into a suit afterwards.
He does.
As if like it's a workout.
Let's get on to Tony Pulis a bit later because there's a lot to be said.
I don't want to spend an awful lot of time talking
Can
about
we
him.
breeze past the next game? Because I think everything that's needed to be said has been said, which is, well, the next two actually. Palace lost 5-0 to City, which Palace did really well until about, 41 minutes?
But then that's how the steam train works.
That was it. And then City just...
That is how the steam
City
train
just
works.
destroyed them.
Yeah.
But to be honest, there's not... It's one of those games which has been discussed ad nauseum this week by everyone. You know, there's not really a lot that we can say.
And look, Aguero has been phenomenal again.
Yeah.
My love for Kun is just still there.
Just going to leave that there.
Yeah,
It's outrageous that they've got a player of sort of Sané's quality.
Yeah, and he's
Depth up front.
It's not outrageous though. They scouted him. He was
just,
well known for ages.
No,
they
it's
paid.
just the fact that
they were the first club to pay his.
They've got
wages.
such. You know what I mean? Is it's such a strong squad that you can sort of. It's like I think it's like the Rolling Stones back catalogue. Oh my God, the Mott's back.
He's a big fan.
Long time FIFA Ramble watches.
Can we make him into like? I know we've got the Gormleysaurus, and I'm happy with the Gormleysaurus.
We got the Gormleysaurus, and we got Mothman.
I'm happy with it to have both. I don't want to push Gormleysaurus.
I'm going to call him John Mothson.
Oh, good, solid.
John Mothson.
I like it.
Or just John Moth, the referee.
Yeah.
Probably John Moth is probably better, but John Mothson is retiring this summer, so not actually going to the World Cup as well, which I thought he might have finished on a World Cup, but he's not doing it.
There's talk that he's going to finish on the FA Cup final.
I don't think he'll play in the FA Cup final, Luke. I don't want to
never
break
know.
it to you.
You never know. If Everton get there, they might have to. Southampton 0, United 1. United afterwards said it was their. Mourinho said it was their toughest game so far this season, which, you know, it was. It was Southampton played very, very well, but United, as a United fan, it was encouraging to see us actually, because that's a game that we would have lost or drawn the last 2 seasons, really. Held on to a 1-0. Yeah, the amount of games where we were winning 1-0 and you just never felt comfortable. It had to be at least 6-0 until I felt comfortable that we weren't going to draw it. Like 1-1 was the new 1-0 to the Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? It was 1-0 to Jose. It was just. But yeah, no, it was solid. Chelsea annihilated Stoke 4-0.
Ruined Stoke.
Just
nice to see. Did you see Mark Hughes afterwards?
Oh, not another handshake. Was it? Did he shake Conte's hand?
Straight off.
I can't imagine him having a very nice handshake. I didn't see.
But he used to play for Chelsea, didn't he, Mark Hughes? So there'll be that kind of Manchester United thing.
Yeah, that look. I think Conte and him have got. You're like him and Mancini. Remember, there was about 7 or 8 instances where they just wouldn't shake hands with each other.
But Mark, that was again though because not necessarily the club though. Mancini made some comments about Mark Hughes as a Man City manager.
Yeah.
You know, he was asked a question about you've got your job and shouldn't British managers have the job, and he just came out and he said, well, you gave Mark Hughes a go. You know, Keegan had a go. Stuart Pearce had a go.
I did like Roberto.
Stuart Pearce, a man whose profession is actually now full-time doing betting adverts.
Yep.
True.
Is he not? It's
awful.
I'm assuming he's not the England under-21s coach anymore, because he...
No.
He must be. He seems to be someone who would always be the England under-21.
Eddie Boothroyd, didn't it?
it always seemed to be a case of Stuart Pearce is always going to be England under 21's coach. Teaching them football.
Stuffed toy.
Liar.
Yeah.
He's stuffed lion toy. By the water bottle. What a prick.
Look. And that's when you know it's time to change manager. That's exactly when you know. Next game.
Next game was Swansea 1, Watford 2.
Yeah, good game.
Otherwise known as the Worm Fantasy Football.
It really was.
The Worm Wet Dream.
It was. Bonus points, goals, the fucking lot. We'll get on to that later.
I like Silva. I like Watford. I like what he tends to do.
And Paul Clement.
Paul Clement, he was unlucky.
He's at the right club though, isn't he?
Yeah, I'd say so for now. But what did the Wormy saw us call after this current?
He was going within 2 years when Nagelsmann will take over at Bayern and Clement will go to be on his coaching team.
I think I might go even a step further. I genuinely think that he might have a year at Bayern. It wouldn't surprise me if they gave Clement a role at Bayern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. He's a great coach.
Because I was thinking about. So my statement was, as you said, that he'll go and work with Nagelsmann within 2 years, and I thought about it this week quite a bit, and it's like, well, I can see how that works for Nagelsmann. I can see how that works for Bayern. I can't see how that works for Clement though. It just feels like you don't get many managers that manage properly and then go back down to being number twos. You know, like Mike Phelan was desperate to be a number one for a long while, kind of got the gig, and then you don't get the sense that he's gonna that he would ever go back to. You know, Brian Kidd did it a little bit, didn't he? But you don't get many like
relegated.
Yeah, so I was thinking about it. And it's like, well, I'm not so
Carlos
sure.
Queiroz as well. Carlos Queiroz managed Real Madrid.
He did.
And then went back to United to be Fergie's number 2. And then went off to Portugal.
Evil Carlos Queiroz. And now he's probably
he did international management.
Yeah, he did. He was United number 2. Then he managed Real Madrid. Then he went back to be United's number 2 again. And then he went off to manage Portugal when Mike Phelan took over.
Next game.
So an illustrious number 2 history at United.
But as I said with Sammy Lee, you know, good number 2s don't always make number 1s.
No.
With a little headset, maybe.
Well,
It's
mesmerised by the fact that this is just the middle of the game. I know you've done our review. If you didn't watch it, it's on the YouTube channel. Go and give it a watch. It was last night.
Well, it wasn't really a review. It was
more game focused.
Yeah,
than
we
this
just
one is.
We just had a game. Yeah, but me and Skate just played a couple of 2-player. Like, I'll do a proper game review. I'll play some.
Once we know the nuts and bolts.
Next game. Leicester 2, Liverpool 3.
Okay. Does anyone actually rate Mignolet?
Oh, can I bring it back away? I know you've been dying for this game, but we didn't talk about Gareth Barry breaking the Premier League appearance record, which I think is of note.
No, it's not of note.
It is.
It's not of note. Football didn't begin in 1992. The Premier League record counts for absolutely nothing. He is still something like 115 games behind the outfield player, the closest outfield player, so you can't even quantify it with that. And he's even further behind Peter Shilton.
Yeah, he's miles behind Shilton.
So, no, it's an absolute nonsense. Arsenal gave him a fucking shirt.
Yeah, they did.
A signed shirt. And everyone was like, that's really class. It's like, fuck off. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, why all these records have to exist in the Premier League? Like, the Premier League is a brand. Like,
the way I look is one thing that was pointed out, which I read, which was, Gareth Barry has now become the Premier League's all-time appearance holder. But then you've got someone like Cristiano Ronaldo, who was only in the Premier League for 5 years? Won the Ballon d'Or while he was here. Would you rather have a successful...
Burn brightly.
Yeah.
Or
like Aguero is, obviously he's very, very quickly becoming the highest scoring non-Brit, or he will do.
Again, that's such a bollocks stat.
But would you rather have
the highest score in non-Brit who's got a nickname? Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you want to talk about non-stat? Christian Eriksen is now the highest scoring Dane in the Premier League.
He overtook Nicholas Bentner.
Lord Bentner. Yeah, him of Paddy Power fame.
I think he's famous for more than Paddy Power.
No, not in my eyes.
He married a Danish princess.
If he married a Danish prince, I'd probably talk about him more.
Love that.
Yeah, go on then. Leicester
Sandwiched
2,
by a pair of
Liverpool 3.
homophobes.
Yeah, anyone rate Mignolet?
Penalty saving, yes, because now he's got more.
Not having that, I'm sorry.
Well, he's now got more penalty saves than Courtois,
what he
Petr
did
Cech and
was
Kasper
spared
Schmeichel
his
combined.
blushes, because if that had gone in,
That's why he
then
did it.
everyone...
He's a shit goalkeeper. He's
trash.
fucking terrible.
But-
he made so many errors during that game.
Yeah, it was a fucking train wreck. It was an absolute train wreck.
Why have you got Benfica
Basel,
into?
Benfica.
You have.
Oh, hang on a minute, yeah. Oh, admin error.
Do you want to do a Champions League game right now?
No, I know what we can do.
No.
How about...
No, I'm just going to pick
Let's
one now.
let's get a score check.
He's doing it now. I'll do this. It's okay. You.
Right.
Club Brugge versus Ghent.
So Basel Benfica is 1-0 Basel. Michael Lang scored.
Nice.
Man United have beaten CSK Moscow. Romelu Lukaku scored after 4 minutes. Anthony Martial with the assist. In the important game of the night, Anderlecht have drawn 0-0. Paris Saint-Germain are 1-0 up against Bayern München. Dani Alves scored the second minute. Neymar assisted. Edison Cavani cried. Roma
He'll
Karabag
get reimbursed.
is 2-1. Was 2-1. It finished. So yeah, Manolas, who's a very fucking good defender, scored in 7 minutes. Loads of early goals, and Zeko scored.
I'm sure he set one up, didn't you?
Peter Unglove scored. Set up. Dino Unglove set up Pedro Enrique. He was a really good footballer as well. To make it 2-1. What else we got? Anything of note really? Load of the others are 0-0s. So yeah, no goal in Sporting against Barcelona.
No.
So have you sorted yourselves out now?
I'm ready.
Not happy with the kits?
Happy with the kits.
Okay. Any other football we need to talk about?
Well, Leicester, Liverpool, we could discuss a bit more.
Go on then, you two talk about it. I'm
Or
just
we
going to
could
sit here.
move on to the Sunday game because there's
No
only one
money
Sunday game.
always affects Liverpool, strangely. Always does, but their problems don't lie there, do they? They lie right at the back, where everyone can see, starting with Mignolet and the entire back row of
But it's true,
defence.
it's like we said
Massive,
earlier,
I
they
quite
literally
like.
need to score 3 goals at least to guarantee him a
It's no
win.
good.
But Klopp actually disagrees with you. He thinks the problem doesn't lay at the back at all. He actually thinks that it does lay up front, and that he needs more goals and he needs more assists from midfield, and he needs his forward to continue to produce. So Salah has started like an absolute steam train.
Was blazing as well.
United did 2-0 up. Martial penalty. It sort of leads on. I'm going to do an early Reader's Wife question because it relates to what we're talking about. Nathan, he's asked Klopp, and then inverted commas, I could write a book on defending in 2 hours. Was that a sensible statement given the defensive frailties Liverpool are showing of late? Should he have been looking at more options other than Van Dijk during the summer?
There's nothing to suggest that he wasn't looking at more options than Van Dijk.
No, he probably
Over the
was.
summer?
He did say.
Tons of stuff.
He did say he made a comment, something along the lines of, "We looked at a lot of defenders, but none of them, sort of matched what we needed or wanted."
That's exactly. I think that's the right decision. I don't think you buy players for players' sake. Not when they cost as much as they do at the moment.
Keep Sacco.
I think.
Keep Saka is a big shout. Yeah.
Do I think that he should have said that? Well, the truth is he can. I mean, just because there's this strange thing with managers, just because they don't play a certain way doesn't mean they can't. Klopp believes in playing absurdly offensive football. Like his wing backs play like wingers, and his wingers play like, hyper forwards basically. Like their striker plays high, and their wingers play even higher. So I don't know whether he couldn't manage a team that does that. It's just he chooses not to, in the same way that I probably wouldn't, And the same way Mark Hughes, and I don't like giving that man praise, but he always used to get criticised for the way that he played football. Yeah. And his point always was, when I get there, eventually I'll play different football. But I can't afford to go out and play offensive football at the moment because I will get Stoke City at the time, relegated. And so I think you've got to factor in a bit of pragmatism. I mean, was it silly? Yeah, it was. Liverpool had conceded loads of goals, but then nobody seemed to hold that against Kevin Keegan. Nobody seemed to hold that against Kenny Dalglish. Like Liverpool have conceded.
Kenny Dalglish and Kevin Keegan have got in common that Klopp. What makes Klopp different from them?
Yeah, exactly. One of them wears glasses openly, and the others don't.
Well, I've seen a lot of it on online the last few weeks. Klopp is shit, and his records on par with Rodgers, and it's as if everything that he did at Dortmund when he was at, people were saying he was up there with the best coach in the world. Suddenly it's forgotten, and it's like, well, no, he's a fantastic coach. What are you?
Can I suggest why that might be then? Mm-hmm. So everything was looking rosy at Borussia Dortmund, and he made them look like world beaters. Then he left, and two things have happened. He hasn't pushed on with Liverpool, but Borussia Dortmund remain, having got a completely new manager and a new system. They've elevated their game again. So actually, Klopp's reputation in Dortmund is being reduced because it's not just a him thing. It turns out that Thomas Tuchel was very, very good. And then at Liverpool, whilst they played some good football, Liverpool fans ran and raving. They got into the Champions League, and that's great. But they haven't done a whole bunch. So I think it's almost a perception thing, really. It's that you expect more. So, and rightly so as well, because what Liverpool fans are like, and the press going on about Liverpool being this super club and all that, and it's getting back to how it was in the 80s. Well, they've got that money now. They've got that stature. They've got the manager that they're talking about. They haven't got these weird like Brendan Rodgers managers. They've got a world class manager, and it's not working out for them just yet. And the other thing you've got to factor in as well is the reason they get a load of coverage is because their fans are on social media an awful lot. In the same way that Arsenal get spoken about in the media an awful lot, is because in modern media and knowing how kind of like ads-driven revenue streams for newspapers and websites work, that it's about hits. It isn't necessarily about saying sane journalistic, doing in-depth stuff. The newspapers the print journalists seem to do that. Like Jonathan Liu, and who's moved to the Independent. Actually, that's going to be an interesting move. He's written his last article for the Telegraph yesterday, so that'll be an interesting shift. But yeah, that's so you. Yeah, it's a long-winded way, I suppose, of answering the question in a short manner. Was it stupid to say? Yeah. Could he defend if he wanted to? Yeah, I don't think for a single minute he couldn't.
To be fair, I'm getting so bored of hearing that now. Oh, Klopp's not very good. Well, he is. Do you know what I mean? It's the same thing with Hodgson at England to a certain extent. It's like, oh, well, he hasn't done anything.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
I mean, the last person who did anything of note was Rafa Benitez, really, unless we're counting, Rodgers, who nearly got them there based on the fact that he had Suarez and Sturridge, who were just...
Well, he didn't have Champions League football either, did he?
Yeah, that is...
The year that they came second, they had nothing else to do. They were playing once a week. Yeah. Pretty much on a Sunday, on Sky.
Yeah.
The whole time. Can I ask who's who, by the way?
Who do you think is who?
I ain't got a clue. I can't tell. You're winning with Ghent, so I'm assuming it's you as Ghent, because he'd be wetting himself if he'd scored 2 in a game.
I know.
Actually wetting himself.
I scored within 2 minutes. I thought I was on. The other game of the weekend was Brighton 1, Newcastle 0.
Yeah, that was on Sunday.
Yeah, it was the only Sunday game. Premier League was.
Yeah, it's because Arsenal were playing on a Monday, even though they were playing. I don't get it. I don't get the Premier League scheduling. Don't get the Premier League
it's not
schedule.
offside.
I'm going to eat another donut. I've already eaten 6 donuts, but I'm going to eat another. I'm going to eat a shit donut now because I want one.
But yeah, Hamed. Is it Hamed or Hamad?
Hamed.
Hamed. Scored, but he's now got a 3-game ban.
Why?
The stamp.
For Phil Stamp.
Yeah, for the stamp. 3-game ban.
Allegedly.
Danny
is that
Murphy's
what
decided.
Danny Murphy. Shoot. Danny Murphy's decided, is he?
Well,
The elders.
Oh!
Danny Murphy decided it wasn't
I
a
just think they
dive.
sit around a campfire.
Like fucking Bohemian Grove. Just chilling. Sacrificing an effigy of a Luca.
Oh! Couldn't do that in modern Britain. Could do it in modern America.
No, I don't know. Brexit is coming.
Is it true that the England women are going to take a knee for Mark Sampson? Everyone that went over to run and hug him are going to take a knee for him at the next national anthem.
You should take something.
I mean, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, that's we're getting onto it.
These Premier League roundups always take for ages, and we never really talk about anything.
No, they're good.
They're not. It's the worst bit of the ramble.
Next point is Man United, because fucking idiots are still chanting the Lukaku, or they were.
Where Man United will chant what we want.
Yeah.
Fuck me. That was like a clown running over a minefield. Never seen anything like it in my life. So, well, you're a Man United fan, so
I am.
You are their spokesperson. They are you. This is how this works. Is in football.
Oh.
Talk me through it.
Well, yeah, they a certain section of the away fans started chanting the Lukaku chant. So United have said they've got a zero tolerance policy on this matter, and they've asked for the CCTV footage from Southampton.
They've got such a zero tolerance policy that Kick It Out had to ask them to investigate in the first instance.
Yeah.
That's what I love, a club with principles.
Yeah, no, it really is true. They didn't do anything.
We've got a zero tolerance policy once it's been raised by somebody else.
It's been raised by Kick It Out and Danny Murphy,
Who is?
I'm assuming.
Definitely Danny
He's
Murphy.
loving it. But yeah, then after that, after the CCTV footage was requested, I don't know what's happened. I don't know if they've received it yet or not. But it was basically, well, we're going to find out who it was, and they'll be given a ban. I believe they're talking about lifetime bans. Then I nearly tweeted, "You guys not out." Someone has made a banner.
No good.
Yeah, I mean you can imagine it's a
What do you mean?
anatomical.
Are you being serious?
Yes. Someone has made a banner of Lukaku.
Eric or Bruce?
I'm hoping Eric out of those two.
I do prefer Eric over Bruce.
Yeah, someone's made a banner saying like Belgian genius or something like that, and it's Lukaku with his shorts pulled down. And if you know the chant, you can imagine what the rest
Don't
is.
know it. Stephen Power, as a fan of the show, it's not a show, let's not pretend.
It is a show.
Can I have a signed copy of FIFA 18? Yeah, you can. You buy FIFA 18 and I'll sign it for you.
Yeah, there you go. Council good on that. I'll sign it as well.
No,
Spinner,
Skin, you'll sign it?
Yeah.
No charge as well.
we won't charge you for that. The only thing we do ask is that he lives in Ireland. Does Mr. Power? Is that
Well, the name was a giveaway. I mean, his surname's
He's-
Power. I'm an Evans. I obviously live in Wales.
Yeah,
He's
no,
a Power. He's
he is
probably
from
going to be in
Wales. He's got a
Ireland.
lot of Irish heritage.
Yeah, of
and he
course
met
he
an
has.
Irish girl when he went on holiday. And he moved over there.
What a lucky
Married,
man.
2 kids, the lot.
Gutted, but
Lucky
married to an
charms.
Irish wife, lovely.
Yeah. So you buy
guys.
it, you send it to us, stamped addressed envelope as well, because we're not paying for postage back.
1 Calhoun Towers, Calhounville.
Calhoun Road.
That's it. Calhoun Road, and it'll definitely get to us. Yeah, I'll happily sign. Sign. We'll sign a copy.
Yeah, we'll
what's the
sign
problem at
everything.
all?
Definitely.
Phew.
Do that.
Right, next. So, What are they gonna? Is this banner on? Is that available online?
Yeah.
Like there's pictures of it and everything.
Yeah,
Fuck
they put it up on
me.
Twitter.
Incredible.
Didn't step up.
So they think, presumably in their minds now, and I'm going to ask you to inhibit the role that that's the most cringeworthy celebration.
It goes on for ages. Isn't it?
Yeah, they're going to imagine that they'll turn up at the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll sit down. They'll probably get there early because they'll have some admin to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to unfurl the banner.
Unfurl the banner.
Get the cable ties out.
Yeah.
And nothing's going to happen. Like everyone's just going to be fine with that, are they?
That is, I'm imagining that's the best scenario, really. Problem is that people have shared it to the United Twitter.
Yeah, of course they have, and rightly so.
It's fucking loot. The whole thing is just stupid. United fans, rightly so. Well, not United fans. Old Trafford, rightly so, is known as a quiet ground. However, equally rightly so, United's away support are known as very loud, and they create a very good atmosphere.
Away fans always are, though, aren't they? Because that's the nature of the people who go away. Always make more noise.
But what they've done there, because it is fucking embarrassed themselves by doing that.
But they haven't. That's the problem. These people are so stupid that they won't feel embarrassed. Like quite the opposite. They feel empowered.
Because someone who I used to follow, I stopped following the minute they shared the banner. Shared it as sort of like, oh, this is brilliant. Oh, fucking Bantosaurus and whatever else. I was like, you fucking mug.
I don't think there's anything funnier than racism.
Oh yeah, it's fucking hilarious, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I do long for the days where.
Oh.
Jeez, Louis. Was your thumb stuck on the circle button then, or what? That must have been held down for about 3 hours.
So excited.
You were thinking about Romelu Lukaku.
Oh, the minute I was just thinking of that. The unfurling.
No.
Of what? The banner or?
We'll leave it there. I got excited again.
You really did.
The
Stop
problem
getting excited.
Is my brain and thumb are not friends at the minute.
Good golly, Skinner, that's a magnificent save.
Fucking hell, that's the way to get back into the goalkeepers union, right there.
That was lovely, Alexander. Did we draw that last game then?
Yeah, sure.
Phew. Phewy.
Next point leads on nicely. Weird, this as if I planned this running order. Is Sampson.
Fuck's sake. Go on then.
Right, they are. I can't. Oh. Right, Catherine Newton.
Oh no.
I'm
laughing at you.
No, right.
Forgive me a little bit. Catherine Newton, the barrister in charge of the controversial inquiry into Mark Sampson's conduct. I'll stop it there because it says in charge of the controversial inquiry. There's no controversy regarding the inquiry. The controversy is the fucking racist scumbag that used to manage England women's team. That's the controversy there. Has changed her position behind the scenes and now intends to interview the 3 players who were identified as key witnesses but were overlooked in her initial investigation. The initial investigation that deemed Mark Sampson had done nothing wrong.
Am I right in saying that lady is a black woman? I believe that she's a black. So this is what I understand to be true. That lady's a black woman, which matters not a jot at all. Except that she was deliberately picked. Like she was handpicked to do the investigation because she was a black woman.
Have they done it so that then they can just go, well, fucking rule the rules already, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Well, the FA have deliberately done it so that they can say, well, there's definitely no controversy here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't skew an investigation with bias in order to later on say there's no bias.
What is we talked about it last week, in that he's gone and they've said it's got nothing to do with Aluku and the investigation and Jordan Spence and all of that fucking racism. But it's to do with his time at Bristol Academy, which I've since found out was the ladies' team. They're now called Bristol Rovers Ladies, I believe.
And the allegations there are fair. Well, they are for some people. Well, and he has been sacked on that basis. So presumably it's more than an allegation. It's
in the report.
Yeah, it's a horrific abuse of position and authority by by somebody.
Someone who you almost want to say should know better, but at this point, I genuinely don't think he does.
Right, that's exactly, isn't it?
It's...
Oh,
that's
ran him under the ball there, filthy Skinner.
She's...
Dirty boy Skinner.
Catherine Newton has spoken to Drew Spence now, and she will meet with she'll meet with Jill Scott and Izzy Christensen and Reading's Joe Potter. Sorry, the other two play for Man City.
Yeah.
Make a note of it. So yeah, she's going to speak to him now. She didn't before.
She had a lot on, didn't she?
Well, she did, yeah. She had to do it.
She's got a hard-boiled egg.
She's busy. She was leading the investigation. She didn't have time to speak to key witnesses as well. She had a lot on.
Unreal. If I was as incompetent... At what level do you have to get past before you're allowed to be incredibly incompetent again? Because I'm not in that Goldilocks zone yet, but I can be incompetent for a lot of money. Yeah. I mean, frankly, I'm incompetent for not an awful lot of money at the moment, so it'd be nice to...
Yay.
That's that. You got roundly fucked then, didn't you?
Absolutely. You got that trick.
Oh, he's livid. He is. Skinner's speaking in hushed tones because he's so angry.
So she's already spoken to Drew Spence, which she didn't do before, because as we pointed out, Aluku said, I'm not naming who it was, but she's a mixed race player, and she was on the China Cup. Was it the China Cup? I believe it was.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, China Cup in October 15. So it's a mixed race player, and they said, well, we didn't know who it was, so we couldn't speak to him. And it was like, well, there's only one mixed race player there. But she's now going to speak to Jill Scott and Izzy Christensen, who played for Man City, Reading's Joe Potter, to establish what Sampson allegedly said during a meeting at the China Cup. So they've now decided that at this point, do you know what? It was during a meeting. There was a lot of people there. Maybe we should fucking talk to some of them. And it's weird that this has happened after he's been sacked. It's almost as if they go, well, you know, it's all right, because they've also deemed themselves not responsible.
Of course they haven't.
They've said they've done nothing wrong. Everything has been, you know, all guidelines have been followed.
The thing that annoys me is that they went beyond that. Not only are they clearly made an error of judgment in the first instance, then deliberately swayed an investigation to get a result they've predetermined, which renders the investigation pointless. They then backed their man and allowed players to put themselves in really awkward positions by scoring goals and like hugging him and what have you, because there will be a lot of girls that, and friendships probably would have been lost off the back of this, because lines were drawn in the sand and there did seem to be kind of two camps. So that was allowed to happen. They've allowed this to continue to go on, and the thing that has annoyed me more than anything is, in the classic way that kind of political parties do this, and you see it in big companies as well, all of the responsibility at the moment is presently being pegged on people who no longer work at the FA.
Yeah.
Almost as if by coincidence. And it's like, you've shown 4 times already that you've got no backbone. The investigation now isn't actually about Mark Sampson at all. What it should be, the conversation's actually shifted, and our conversation now isn't about Mark Sampson anymore, really. It's about the FA's incompetence.
Yeah, cover it.
And yet, even then, they've just allowed themselves to continue to be, well, open to question. Like, blaming people that are no longer there. Like, how cowardly are these people? Like, just, if I fuck up in work, like, I'm the first to put my hand up and just be like, yeah, completely fucked up. Because that's the man you're meant to be. Like, that's the person you're meant to be. Like, but you can't shift blame and get away with it. But I just find it annoying, like really, really annoying.
2-0 PSG.
Who scored the second?
Mbappe set up Cavani.
So the lines have been drawn there.
Yeah.
Dani Alves is only going to set up Neymar, and I tell you what, if I was Cavani, you're going to be on the winning end of that. Mbappe setting you up.
Celtic 1-0 up.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, there's only one person that's allowed to score from. Is it Brownie?
No, it's not actually. You know who it is.
I don't.
You bloody well do.
Is it Giorgio Samaras?
Correct.
I fucking love Giorgio
Lee
Samaras.
Griffith.
Yeah, I knew it was Lee Griffith.
Obviously.
We'll just wait. Sorry, we talking about ourselves.
Atleti, a greasy pen. David Luiz brought down someone who was.
Yeah. Did you get booked for it?
David Luiz got a yellow card. Greasy stuck away the penalty.
Nice. Easy, greasy, beautiful cover girl.
Yeah, David Luiz fouled Lucas Hernandez in the box.
Did he? I like Lucas Hernandez. He's a good young footballer. So Sampson, the whole Sampson FA thing is just embarrassing for everyone. Like it
just gets worse, doesn't it?
I find the whole thing like not euphemistically at all. Like genuinely, I find it depressing. Like it to think that kind of behaviour can. These people are, and it shouldn't be reduced to how much money people earn or what have you, but. Like, these people earn huge sums of money in what are viewed as incredibly important roles. Like the government has to be involved in it because the FA is a governmental, has got governmental oversight, etc. So there's a select committee that's been called to look at this because of governance issues and what have you, and it's just embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing for everyone.
As a father of 2 girls,
as a mother,
it depresses me that. One of whom, enjoys playing football. It's like this. Fuck's sake, it's 2017. It's like these things shouldn't be happening. In a smart, talented woman like Aluku has to go through this, not only in private, which is bad enough, but in fucking public, and put up with so much shit from something she suffered. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable. And still, you get people who are like, "Oh yeah, but he's done wonders for women's."
He'll always be
the
cloud over as well. He'll always be there on the Wikipedia page and all the time. No matter what she's done, that's the one thing.
It's your classic victim blaming. That's how that works.
It's just outrageous. But yeah, he was. It's sort of there's like as you alluded to, there's a lot more information that's come out about his sacking, and it's inappropriate and unacceptable behaviour is the quote to do with his time at Bristol Academy, who, like we say, are now called. That was lovely. I don't know what the fuck my keeper's doing. He did a minion there.
Carious, even.
That's unbelievable. But yeah, a 6-month relationship with the player. Original decision was he needed mentoring and tutoring about the boundaries that need to be maintained between coach and player. 4 years later, that exact same allegation was deemed worthy of his dismissal. But it took 4 fucking years for them to decide it. And it took 4 years also after he was basically dragging the FA, rightly as well, through the mud over it. In the, suddenly, oh, fucking hell, you're making us look embarrassed. You're making us look ridiculous here, Mark, because people are actually now paying attention to women's football. Yeah. So we're on BBC News. We can't have this. No, those things that we said were fine before, they're not now.
Yeah, but remember, we didn't say them. It's people that no longer work at the FA.
Yeah, because again, I forgot his fucking name. It's in my back pocket. Actually.
Jeff Horsfield.
The chief executive, Martin Glenn. Is it Martin Glenn?
Yeah.
Said that. Oh, I only read the report last week. What? Surely you should know everything that went on with all the people that you are in charge of. If they're disciplinaries, for anything, you should know.
That's not necessarily true. There's actually in most companies' policy, the disciplinary CEOs are for a number of reasons kept out of disciplinary actions. In order so it doesn't prejudice potential future promotions, roles, etc. It's meant to be between a designated member of senior staff and human resources. There's a boring bit of admin for you, everybody.
I still don't believe that report was only read.
Oh no,
it definitely came up after they were like, back in 2015 when this incident allegedly occurred, and it's still allegedly at this point. We have to say. How was he allowed to be in charge of England Women's when he had these things happen at Bristol?
Yeah, bloody good chap, isn't he? Bloody good chap.
That's a couple of beers.
Yeah.
How are you finding FIFA 18?
I am enjoying it. I like the fact that it's slower. Even though, as per usual, his players seem to have him
indoors.
I like when people say his about me, I always like to think they're doing it with a capital H, like when you talk about Jesus or God.
I think that's what it is. Yeah. He's got the whole world.
Exactly, all the capital H's.
He's bloody hell.
Yeah.
Alex Scott. Do you remember Alex Scott?
Yeah.
She's presenting on Soccer AM now.
Oh, is she replacing Helen?
No, she's their sort of roaming reporter, essentially. She was at the Olympic Stadium, home of the greatest football stadium migration of all time.
Ever.
On Saturday. Because, again, for a little bore, I've had my Virgin Media package increased.
Right,
so, what do you mean?
Right, basically, they've now put their prices up. That's essentially it. So my bill increased. So what they've done is, instead of me being on the smallest TV package, which is what we were on.
You're not the big kahuna.
We're now being we're not on the big kahuna. Don't be silly.
Big kahuna. You've got 2 kids. He's not made of money.
I know, Jesus Christ.
His name's Luke Smalley, not Rich Uncle Pennybags.
I know, Jesus.
Richard Branson.
Who, boringly, there's another boring fact for you, doesn't own Virgin Media at all. He licenses the name and the branding for 15% of the total company turnover. So it's not actually Richard Branson at all, even though they do use him in advertising. Yawn. That's the real reason why people turn up, is for Wormy's boring facts. So yeah, go on. Keep telling me your really interesting story about your Virgin.
Yeah, sorry. No, this is
Fuck me.
This is you asked. I just left it as.
Let's be perfectly clear here. Alexander asked.
I did ask.
Oh, I thought it was you.
No.
No, they just put the prices went up. So they said, because we have to put your prices up, instead of giving you the basic package, which is what new customers would get for the money that you're now going to be paying monthly, we're going to increase the amount of TV channels you get. So I've now got Sky Sports News. I've now got Sky One.
And how much a month is that?
I don't even know.
I pay for
the broadband. I don't pay for it for anything else.
Ooh.
But yeah, no. So I was illustrating to my beautiful wife that
she really is beautiful. She is really far too good for you, and
she is.
I'm just saying.
She is. I don't know how she puts that on me. I really don't. But yeah, I was saying to my beautiful wife that, look at all these new channels we got, and then Soccer AM came on, which oh my god, what's his name? He's such
Tim
a shit
Lovejoy.
Footballer. No, he played for Hull. Did the Phil Brown thing?
John Aloisi. You're talking about Jimmy Bullard.
Jimmy Bullard. He's now the presenter, which I didn't realise.
What?
He's now the presenter.
Right, well.
Him and some other bloke who used to do the fantasy football show with Paul Merson, which I know you were a fan of. Every Saturday. Fucking what's Merce got to say?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it was.
Talk me through that show.
They talk about, they invite guests on, and they would say, like, who's in your team? Who have you got this week? These are our tips for this week. And then they get someone on and they pick their best 11 that they ever played with.
Okay, so that's got legs. I find that quite interesting. So they get like Ken Moncur on, and it'd be like, right, so Mark Kinsella would be in there. Yeah, fine. Yeah, the Beagle.
Things like that. But it was a fantasy football show.
I honestly thought you could score an own goal then because you were distracted.
Didn't know what I was doing.
I thought you were clean through on goal.
I thought I was blue for a little bit.
You played a half already.
Yeah, more embarrassing for me. You scored twice.
He's not.
Doesn't even know what team he is, and he's fucking losing.
This is what's been happening the last 12 weeks. I've been lulling you all.
This is the trap. Trash's trap.
This is what's happening. Oh, I don't know what happened there.
Nice.
So no, she's presenter. Also happened recently. There's been some changes to the English Women's Super League.
Yeah, there have been.
They've been approved by the FA, haven't they?
Yeah. Go on then, talk through them.
They now, it's only for full-time teams. As of 18-19 season, it's only teams that are full-time. Oh, devastated.
Guilt.
So yeah, Super League changes. Top tier will now be for full-time clubs only. They also have to have an academy now as well. So they have to have an academy, which also I believe they have to put a certain amount of money into it as well.
Yeah, that you will.
So it's not just, you know, sort of, oh yeah, we've got an academy. Who's in it? And tea lady.
Oh man.
It's going to be between 8. Yeah, oh man.
The team man. I'm the team man. The fuck is. Oh, near posted.
I don't know what my keeper's doing in this
Ghosted,
game.
near posted.
He's blaming his defence is what he's doing. What a ball. I ran him outside to come in. Adam Hamill. You're taking him off for Liam Misgrove.
Yeah.
Is it Liam Misgrove? Lloyd Misgrove.
Who did he used to play for? Was it Portsmouth? Or Southampton?
I remember that.
Or Bournemouth?
Oh, no.
One of the Harry clubs.
Go on, carry on.
But yeah, so it's going to be between 8 and 14 clubs. They also now, all the clubs have to reapply for their licence.
Lloyd Jeffrey Edsgrove. How old is Lloyd Jeffrey Edsgrove?
23.
Oh, I'm going to go. Is this Gary Go?
How old?
22.
Okay, he was born in 1993.
But
so he's
24.
24.
Do you know, when was he born? 93?
1993, yeah.
That seems like he should be about 16, doesn't it? That is depressing.
Spent his youth career in Southampton. Then he got farmed out to Peterborough, Sheffield Wednesday, Barnsley, and then he stayed at Barnsley. So yeah,
I remember seeing him at one of those clubs. I can't remember which one it was.
And he is Welsh international. Isn't he? Just. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, fucking
He's
hell.
only played
Dreadful
once
this
though.
game. For Wales?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all get a turn though, don't we? It's like national service.
You'll do. You're Welsh now.
Yeah.
How many goals did he score?
I got called out by my hamstring it went, which is no surprise to anybody. Like the 40th hamstring injury in my career.
In Lloyd's career, how many goals has he scored?
17.
I'm going to go 7.
What?
One? Is that it?
Must have been great though, playing for the Posh. Smashing that one in.
It's an oxymoron, isn't it? There is nothing posh about that football club at all.
The Posh.
Barry Fry.
Look,
He's due to own that club again, isn't he?
I tell you, I saw when I first saw Jimmy Bullard play against Cardiff City.
Yeah, you said he's
And
playing
he
for Posh.
fucking
Yeah.
annihilated Cardiff City.
Yeah.
He scored a winning penalty. He just lashed a free kick in and smashed a winning penalty.
He did alright for himself, Bullard, didn't he?
Look, it's a career, nonetheless.
People will say he actually didn't do as well as he should do. It's
just the knee injury fucked him.
He said that he's actually an incredibly talented footballer.
You should have glanced
very
at that.
grey.
It'd be more annoying if you went through your career and you didn't show at least a glimmer of your potential. I know that there's that frustration. But
Did call Olivier Bernard a smelly black fella though, so could work in. He'll get an England job sooner or later. Then Jimmy Bullard in the background stuff.
Be on the diving.
Who's that smelly black fella? That was his quote. When he trying to remember who Olivier Bernard was.
Was that before he took over the Head and Shoulders sponsorship?
I think so.
Was that when Head and Shoulders went? No, that smelly black fella, you know.
Unbelievable.
Right.
Maybe Olivier Bernard sorted it out afterwards. So just a pushing you.
Wow.
That was a good reading. I enjoyed that.
Let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
Cavani, I want to talk about Cavani.
No,
We haven't got there yet. Why are you
English
shaking
football.
heads, man?
Every week.
Classic Skinner.
Shall I do the theme tune?
No.
Whoa, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman.
Abroad.
Abroad.
Is that the theme tune we're going for it?
That's the theme tune.
Fuck me.
I like it.
Yeah, well, you would. You've got no class.
I do like
neither
to.
of you got class. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The key is the little pause before abroad, because you can't put New York in. See what I mean?
We're gonna get taken off YouTube now. Copyright.
No, because it was so far removed.
Yeah. So
Just
it was
I've done research.
You would have to distinguish it.
I've done research to avoid that infringement.
Oh, your jingle was so bad as to avoid. I mean, but Sting's going to be living because that's not even fair use policy. Just don't use it at all. You're going to use it badly. He's busy.
Sting. Yeah.
Used to be an English teacher, didn't you? Everybody always says that about Sting.
He's fine with it.
Is he?
Yeah.
It's like Catherine when they start.
You want me to sit? Okay, right. I'll run it.
Is that the way with Trudy?
I'll see what I can do. Yeah, sure. Okay. All right. Thanks, Sting. Bye.
Sting. He likes Sting by all his mates. Yeah. Do you think this, like, his friends call him Sting? Or, like, what's his name? Like Pizza or something? Yeah.
Oh, I know this.
Sting.
Gordon Sumner.
Gordon Sumner. There we go. So they call him like G or like Gordy or
G? I don't
Big
know
G.
Big G man. G son.
G man. G Raw.
Park G Son. That's what they call him.
Park G Son.
Yeah, he's fine with it. Basically,
Sting's fine with it. Basically,
he wants to sponsor it as well. I said not today.
Not
no.
No, we got a bit on.
No Sting.
So you sit there. You go and circular breathe and tantrically fuck your wife. He's doing a new album, isn't he?
Not on our watch, Sting.
Well, I've been tantrically fucking his wife, is he?
I don't know. He's putting
Englishman abroad. Englishman abroad.
I quite like where this conversation was going. I think that was going organically very well then.
Englishman abroad.
YouTube now.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
You wanted to do the next?
No, I want to do the last one.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's me and Skinner. Englishman abroad.
Thank you.
Ryan Kent came off the bench for Freiburg
every week. Next time, just fucking repeat a version that we did before.
Did nothing.
He did.
He did
nothing.
nothing.
Did around there.
What did he do?
He did nothing. It was 0-0. 0-0. And Reece Oxford was an unused.
Jesus, that's the best we got.
Yeah, that's the best we got.
I did the theme music, right?
The pre-ramble took longer than that segment. Oh, fuck me. This was meant to be in my mind when we said that we were going to do this show. Like, I genuinely, I believed I had things to say about the game. Like, I thought that I could do a podcast which was slightly different than a load of the other stuff that you see.
We can.
I wanted to play a bit of FIFA because that's what I like doing. And fuck me, this is what it's come down to. You singing and him repeating exactly the same that was said last week.
I think
I swear to God.
On that note, can you do the outro?
Fuck me. You gonna phone this thing again? Just let him know. He's on speed dial.
I'm gonna call him again.
Yeah, you're gonna call him later on.
I see we've done that.
He never fixes it. He'll call me back.
He's like Bill Ollie. Yeah, leaves him. Yeah, he rings. Missed call. Did he leave a message?
No, never.
Never does. Never does.
Okay, Cavani then.
Jesus. Now you got to talk about Cavani.
Reece Oxford. Tell me what Reece Oxford's doing.
Unbelievable.
Tell me.
This is my favourite part. When I did write it down, I literally copy and pasted.
Yeah, I bet you did. Did you have a look at Borussia Dortmund's under 23s? See Jordan Sancho.
He did play again. I'm sure he did play.
I missed him. I watched yesterday. Did he play yesterday? The game was so good. I'll find the starting lineup.
They played Real, didn't they?
They played Real. It was 5-3, and it was one of the best games of football I've ever seen.
Very good.
It was unbelievable. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
UEFA Youth League, Dortmund, Madrid. Let's have a little look at that while we're chatting away.
Paste that. That's the wrong link.
What are we doing there? What are you linking out?
I'm trying to link to the YouTube.
To YouTube or Twitch?
Either either.
Sorry, you can do it.
5-2 it was, not 5-3.
Did he play?
Let's have a little look. No, he didn't get on the.
No.
No.
He's he doesn't really do. He keeps tweeting out links, like pictures and stuff. Like, yeah, another 3 points. He seems to be having a great time.
Well, he's got to make the most of it, hasn't he? Got to make the most of it. It's a huge opportunity for him to be playing in that squad. Manchester United 3-0 up at half time. Lukaku scored again. Martial. So Martial's had a goal and 2 assists. Don't know. I'll have a look at the banner, see if anything happens on the weekend. Barla beating Benfica 2-0. Anything else good happening? Juve Olympiacos will be one to keep an eye on. That is still 0-0. In the Championship, Birmingham Sheffield Wednesday 0-0, and Sheffield United Wolves. Sheffield United are winning 1-0. So Sheffield Wednesday played each other the other day, and now they're playing on the same night.
Can't beat Cardiff City though. Flying high.
Flying high. They beat
Flying on the wings.
3-1.
We watched it.
So Sheffield United beating Wolves. That means that they do get the 3 points, which are putting 2 points behind Cardiff City into second
They're beating
place.
Wolves today.
Yeah. Which would mean Wolves would be on 20 points after 10 games. So the top of that table is looking.
It's good already.
Point with City looking. Cardiff City looking pretty good. Talking about this last night.
Yeah. They are looking good.
I just don't like Neil Warnock.
Your neighbour scored twice.
I liked his interview.
My neighbour did score twice. Yeah, didn't get man of the match though. They gave it to the old weird Canadian. Junior Hoyler.
Surely should have had that. Surely.
Bam, ba, bam, ba. I'm presuming they sing that, do they?
You'd hope so.
I mean, your Man United fans wouldn't, would they?
No.
They talk about, well, base colonialism. So they'll talk about slave ownership or something, probably. Oh, yeah, that's a lovely run on the overlap. You can tell that you're not playing shit teams in this game, by the way. Do you know one thing that I noticed that I absolutely... what I absolutely love about this game, that they've made a big change, and we haven't commented on it yet, and you were asking whether it was different from the demo, and I said no, and it isn't, but it didn't really come out in the demo. When a forward is faster than a defender in FIFA 18, they are just faster than a defender. In FIFA 17 and in all the ones before, do you remember if you go past like Pastapopoulos with Cristiano Ronaldo? That's why I picked the worst defending name in the world then. So you go past it,
yeah, and they catch up,
and then they catch up,
and then we've been.
And it's like, well, what the fuck is that about? Like, you're not catching. So like Aubameyang would go past, you know, like I don't know, Harry Maguire, who seems to be getting a lot of stick on this thing for no reason. Just because he's not Jerry, we don't need to pick on him. So that if you're a forward is faster, you've done it a couple of times to me in the last game. You went past my wing back with your winger, and he just ran away from him, which is what he should have done. Oh, you are so shit at finishing; it is unbelievable.
I said this when we did. Yeah, I said this. I was like, I'm all right in the middle. Getting it there, I'm fine. It's finishing and defending. Can't do either of them. But in the middle, I'm your man.
There is a function that I've seen the streamers use in replays. You know when you scored when we played the demo, and in the replay it showed where the ball was?
Yeah.
If you go into replays, and I've not tried this yet, so I don't know whether it's a special thing that they've got or whether we can activate it as well, where during a replay, it shows you actually where your passing options were, and when you shoot, actually where your thumb was. So you can, if you've put it wide, you can see that it was you that put it wide, or you can see that it was because your forward has only got like 2 stars on weak foot, and it was on his wrong foot, and all that. So we'll do it in a little while, if you don't mind. When one of you goes through and shoots, do a replay and see if it's one of these things that you can toggle off and on.
I'm just throwing out that early. That does not seem like something I should be left in charge of navigating.
Right, now when we get clear of this, Now press pause for me a minute. Now give me that because you need to not be trusted.
No.
Ever.
Sensible.
Right, there we go. Set trainer.
Wow.
Indicators. Yeah, so there we go. So I'll do my thing now.
So basically, I should have scored that.
I think that's what we're getting at.
Right, I need to get through to telly so I can do.
Well, what a feature that is.
If you're people on Facebook, you're missing some education here. You all play FIFA. Like, everyone plays FIFA. You're going to need to know this.
Oh, I need to go and do this. Right, so there we go. Yeah, this is the one that they were using.
Okay.
So you put it. So that was where you chose to pass. See, so
yeah,
and he goes through, and then what you've got is the shot
coming through now.
Okay.
And I don't know whether I can change. Yeah, I can. There we go. This is the one we wanted.
So it did all the things right.
So you shot right then.
Yeah.
This is the thing. So let's see if it moves when you. So no, you finessed it, didn't you? There we go. If you'd have shot straight, that would have gone in. But because you finessed it, hits the post. But I was just watching it, and I just thought it was a lovely, lovely thing. So there was a guy playing online, and it's interesting they've called it like the training or manager thing because that's what the guy online who plays at a ridiculously high level, I think he's like 150th in the world or something, was using it to when he missed a chance. I watched him do it with Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and it was. I almost stole what he said verbatim. Zlatan Ibrahimovic turned, shot, and the keeper saved it and what have you. And when he looked through, he got his people in chat to look through stats and what have you. So Ibrahimovic is 4 stars on his weak foot. His shooting is like 86 or 88 or something. But where his player stat was down was on balance. And because he had pirouetted to shoot, they were saying that like the game genuinely. So he looked at his arrow and it was going in the bottom corner, but the game had factored in all of the stats and what have you.
That's incredible, really. Oh, very good.
Lovely as well. He's doing the non-celebration celebration.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be a little angle switcher as well. Yeah, there we go. El Shaarawy.
Never gonna stop. Never give it up.
Lovely.
You've been very singy recently. I like it. You're like an uncaged bird.
Feel it.
You're like a sparrow. That's what my little songbird. My little cockney sparrow.
Do you want to want to Cavani name it?
No, I want to keep just naming. I just want to keep talking about birds. You know.
Cavani digging his heels in.
Actually, if I had to pick a bird, cassowary would be.
Okay, yeah.
What, sing like a cassowary?
Yeah. I'm going to call it. I'm going for a chuff.
Blue tip.
Just because there is nothing funnier than a chuff.
I don't know cassowary singing.
Cassowary sits in the old. That wasn't the song, was it?
Kookaburra.
Kookaburra. And I do an excellent. Did you know this about me? I do an excellent Kookaburra impression, and I am fairly self-aggrandising at the best of times. But Skinner Skinner, who's not a man to praise me ever, rightly so.
Don't encourage it.
It is fucking good, man. No, I'm not. It's too loud to do. Like it will ruin my.
Oh,
Lorenzi.
Close.
It took a free kick that good to shut me up.
Kookaburra sits in
That
top
was
of the tree.
I'm looking forward to this.
And all the gum
No.
Can we do it on stream?
Gum drops.
No. I have a preview later.
No, we can't. We also need to sort out the seating arrangements. If you remember, we nailed the seating so it didn't look like you were minute and like malnourished. Basically, like Lionel Messi at La Masia when he turned up. On Sriadio supplements, and I didn't look like an ogre. What we've got now is I now actually look considerably smallest, and I don't like that at all. Unless I'm sat with my brothers either side of me. Yeah, I don't want to be the small one. So we're going to have to emasculate. It's going to take more than that to emasculate me, but we need to get on it. So yeah, so that can fucking sort that out at some point.
I like seeing Luke all bent out of shape then.
Yeah.
Oh,
Donnarumma.
Lovely finish.
Yeah, Cavani turned down. Right, apparently he turned down a €1 million bonus.
1 million. Would you?
€1 million bonus to let Neymar take free kicks and penalties.
Out of principle.
If I was me, no, I wouldn't turn it down.
If you were you,
If
well,
I was
well,
you,
you are
in
you.
this
Who are you going to
scenario,
be then if you're you?
Scenario.
if I'm me right now and someone went, I'll give you €1 million to let Neymar take penalties and free kicks at PSG, I'd be like, yeah, crack
Yeah, well,
on.
obviously,
Crack
like
on.
Edinson Cavani's never sat on a podcast moaning that Virgin Media just put him on the Big Kahuna package. Like, I mean, you are two very different. Edinson Cavani's always had Sky One. Like, you don't have to
We
worry about that.
established that it was not the Big Kahuna package.
Right, well,
It's TV Nick.
point of order. Point of order, everyone. It wasn't.
Just saying.
No kahuna here.
But yeah, if
Cavani's
I'm
not sat there worrying
Cavani,
about
no,
his
I'm telling
fucking
him to fuck off.
his Virgin Media package. Now, what this can to turn this into some kind of like semblance of a proper thing here. What that could take us back to is the conversation that we had when this happened, and you were questioning whether it's Unai Emery's call.
Yeah.
And it turns
They haven't
out,
sorted it out themselves.
I said that it is Emery's call, and it would have to be, and it turns out that it must be, because if the owners felt that they could enforce that upon him, they wouldn't have had to offer him the money anyway. They could have just said, right, well, this is the decree. But not only did they do that, they've offered him money, which is probably indicative. They probably, rather than doing it on the sly, they probably thought that was a more respectful thing to do.
Yeah.
That it made, like, having worked in the Middle East a fair amount, you know, money is a thing. I think it's overstated to some degree in the Western media, but money, or at least being compensated for things financially, is seen as polite, and that is the way that things are done. So I don't think that they were trying to like hush him up or what have you. I mean, maybe they were, but I don't think they were. What I think it's shown is that they wanted to intervene, but still didn't think that they had the authority, or it was explained to them they didn't have the authority to, good lord, to just unilaterally make that decision.
So they didn't sort it out between themselves.
No, it is.
Well, Unai Emery didn't sort it out. And further to that, whose birthday was it the other day at PSG?
Torres.
No, it was somebody's birthday at PSG, and they had a birthday party, and the whole squad went except Edinson Cavani. Which may have been coincidence, because you know they'll whenever they do stuff like this, it's always like, yeah, well, he was
Maybe he was having a nightmare with his Big Kahuna back.
He had
to wait in for the engineer to come.
Engineer, yeah.
Exactly.
Said he'd turn up
He's
at one. Did he help?
Yeah, upgraded his TiVo.
No, he
Wasted
had to
my
turn
all day.
between- He had to, there you go, a new TiVo 6 box apparently. While we're on the subject, I'm gonna call out Virgin Media this evening. PlayStation Network, the PlayStation Network is having an issue. Not across the board. If you're a Virgin Media customer in many areas, this one included, you get a message saying that the PlayStation Network is down for maintenance, when in fact it isn't down for maintenance at all. Virgin Media has got an internet problem where it won't talk to the PlayStation Network. So Muggins over here had to go and fucking change his DNS settings, because he can do that because he's a smart cookie. So we're presently on Google servers, everybody, if you want to know.
Nice.
I had to change my primary and secondary DNS.
I thought something had
I've been a
changed.
bit.
It felt
I felt
a bit more.
different.
It felt more alphabetic.
It,
Skinner giving away a penalty.
the stream seems to be holding up.
No, other way. Friendo.
Can I give away one of Skinner's techniques from when he was a player? Jamie Vardy duo. I was going to call that, by the way, but it was unfair. When Alexander Skinner was a goalkeeper, I mean, in his heart he still is now, but not in his body.
Yeah.
Or his soul.
Or his soul. Yeah, certainly
legs,
over his eyes. When he was a goalkeeper, Alexander used to play mind games with people when he conceded a penalty, or one of his defenders, because Skinner didn't give away penalties.
No.
What he used to do was, after the player had placed the ball down and was doing his thing, obviously he was a cunt and he tried to delay it as much as possible. Like, I've seen him do outrageous things with goal kicks, like things that you wouldn't even see a Tony Pulis team do, to waste time. Old Kasper Schmeichel. And what he would do, Skinner would delay the game, and he'd do it by taking huge sips from his big water bottle, and he would then make a really big play of putting it down by one of the posts that he's decided, just inside the post. And it would be behind the goal line, but just inside the post. And he'd make a really big play with it. And you have to correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe it to be that his mind game was, and it would definitely have worked against me, he's going to put the bottle down there, because the centre forward's obviously going to want to cunt as well, and he's going to want to smash my water bottle.
What do you hit in FIFA?
What do you always aim for? And, and Skinner told me this years and years ago, and as a, not in football clearly, I mean, look at the state of me, but as a player at hockey at an alright standard, if a goalkeeper had done that, Muggins over here would have tried to hit the shit out of that water bottle. So I thought it was a really good technique. And he would have mugged me right off in a game. Just FYI, I still would have scored, but never missed missed one penalty in my life, and it's because the ball moved.
Pretty alright.
Yeah, but they were. You were people called you the Simon Mignolet of Roth Park, didn't
they? Roth Park. Aim big.
Roth Park Lakers.
Happy Lakers on Sunday.
Roth Park Lakers. That was the name of their club badge was just a duck, a little yellow rubber duck. I promise you. It was wonderful.
Do you know who we were unofficially sponsored by?
They were unofficially sponsored by UNICEF. And they actually had it printed on their shirts as well. What? I've actually got a hockey shirt that's got UNICEF printed on it, and the Times.
How does that work?
What do you mean? They just got the logo, sent it to a printers. It was when Barcelona did it. And so they just thought, well, fuck it, we can do that too.
It's good enough Barcelona, it's good enough for Roth
Park Lakers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Happy Lakers.
People would look at us like,
they were all sponsored by,
Barry Barbers.
like Jimmy Smith's fucking lumber merchants or something like that.
I love the idea he was sponsored by
UNICEF, yeah. But they weren't sponsored by. They were promoting UNICEF, and they were giving proceeds to UNICEF. Oh, the Prince of Egypt.
Lovely.
Egyptian Prince.
I mean, I'm quite happy with this because I've done what Milan have been doing pretty much all season.
Getting thumped?
Yeah, it's getting thumped.
But they've got a great squad for it though.
He's going to still bang on about them. Let's do more stuff then, because we're probably going to play one more game and then call it a day, if that's alright.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
We're on 1 hour 30 already.
It's good time, isn't it?
Edinson Cavani, his problems may all be over soon. Apparently, Everton have had words.
Is that true? Because yes. Everton and Olivier Giroud has been in the...
Everton and Diego Costa is fucking...
Is that right? Was Costa linked?
Tuto Mercato Web.
Yep.
That's who has said... They've said, well, no, Everton have said, well, look, if you want to come in January, we'd love to have you.
Really? We'd love to have you.
I
wouldn't mind having
anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
They can't...
No, I'm fine with Calvin Lewis, thank you.
It depends, because Niasse scored twice now, hasn't he?
Do you think there was a case of Ronald Koeman going, look, I'm sorry, Niasse, but I fucking need a striker right now?
No, you don't. They're the things you probably don't have a conversation with at all, and you can write it off as tittle tattle.
Yeah, get in.
Anyway, can't you?
I quite like the idea of Cavani turning up, thinking Premier League. If I have a strong season, move. Sort of on a.
Are you Cavani now?
Yeah, I'm no longer.
If Luke was Luke, the part of Edinson Cavani will be played by Luke.
Do you think that Sigurdsson, Rooney, Baines, and all that lot would be happy to let Cavani take set pieces?
Oh my god!
With their balls. Because Rooney's not going to be happy, is he? Bloody foreigner coming in, nicking penalties. Who do you think it is?
Rooney bleeding for a club? And Cavani doesn't even bleed, he's not a human.
No.
He's a robot.
He's a synth. Kolarov. So you're using quick subs again then, yeah?
Yeah, enjoying the quick subbing. Makes it easier, makes it quicker.
Because I wanted to see, set them up.
We haven't stopped the game. We haven't pressed start and gone into that very much at all.
That
so
moth
it keeps
is desperate to get out.
I might
go and relieve it.
He's going to relieve him off.
Live stream moth relief.
There we go.
If you've got a moth, hey yo, he'll solve it.
I mean, don't call me Chris Packham.
Is this the woodland corner?
Oh, this is a plant from Luke. Isn't it? For Wormies. Well, this fucking thing went out and then came back in.
Do you want a theme music for it?
Theme music.
So let's keep going.
Woodland.
Oh, I don't like that.
He's not a fan of that.
My penis was all up in that stream then. Mr. Tumnus was there for everyone to see.
We don't need to divulge. Divulge.
Divulge. Divulge. He sounds like a Welshman, doesn't he?
A very bold.
Yeah.
Divulge from Wrexham.
Oh, you would. Mark Sampson's from Wales. We should all be ashamed.
Another thing that's interesting, Oldham Athletic.
They haven't been interesting since they were in the Premier League.
See what's been going on there?
No.
Right, they are in the midst of a takeover.
Okay.
Please
involve Sol Campbell and Sven Goran Eriksson. They're the best. Barry Fry?
No.
Harry Redknapp?
No. He,
Joyce Madawaka?
Correct.
No, it's Moroccan businessman Abdullah Lemsagem.
He was next on my list.
He was next.
Fuck. It was on the tip of my tongue.
He's attended every game this season thus far, and
he still wants to buy him.
His accountants and they're going through the books,
Due diligence.
Yeah.
Look at Shirabi's hair.
That's amazing.
His hair is outrageous, so outrageous that the game couldn't even capture how ridiculous that is.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe it if you saw that digitally.
Yeah, he's got all his mates in. They're having a look at the books. They're doing all of that. But the interesting thing that's happened is they've suddenly, apparently the manager was told that there were no funds for players. There were no funds whatsoever.
We can't both be Celtic.
I thought. Oh yeah. Okay. That's fair.
But suddenly, players started turning up, and the manager was like, "Where are these come from?" Oh, free transfers. So they've signed. Is it Curacao winger or Curacao winger?
What you mean? Is in the country?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As in
Curacao.
Yeah, winger Javaro Neponcino and midfielder Abdul Hakim Umrani on 1-year contracts with the option of a further year.
It's a nice kit, that. Do you want to go it? Because I'll go with that horrible thing if you want.
Oh, that as well.
I like the horrible one.
That's snotty.
It's got to be that one on that, isn't it?
Neponcino began his career with Dutch side FC Den Bosch before moving to Fortuna Sittard.
Yep.
They've also signed Queensy Menig on loan from Nantes.
All for freeze?
Yeah, with there was 2 free transfers, and 1 was a loan. But yeah, they sacked the manager. No, he was. This all comes from Readers' Wives that came in from Gareth Townsend.
Oh, Towno.
He's got in touch
Towno.
GT18 _ He's a very good follower on Twitter.
Is it? You say this about everyone, and I've looked at some of your friends, and they're fucking boring as hell.
He's a good,
dull as dishwater, like the dullest of the dishwaters.
I hope you're all following the Gormleysaurus.
I'm not following the Gormleysaurus.
Everyone should be following.
Everyone should be. Are you? How do you set up the quick subs then? Is it?
So you, first of all, you need to make sure that the guy who's in Star Wars is on the bench. That's his name, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you go to your player. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm actually going to start him. So what I would do is I would hold the right trigger. It takes you to your sub bench, and when you're still holding it, no, you don't even have to hold it. You then pick which player you would sub him for. And so at the moment, I've got Dembele as the first sub, and I'm assuming that if I set up 3, I'll be able to pick which of the 3 I want to bring on. So we'll change. No, that was poorly executed. I find
talk me through it again.
The menu's quite slow. So go up to your team, the player that you wish to sub off, press the right trigger, R2.
Really good new feature. This I like this.
Right. Okay.
And now you can let go of that. And now you're in here. You pick which player you want to take and put him on for.
Right.
So you select.
Yeah.
Bruno.
Yeah, and so that'll be it. So then
So
rather than it just being auto,
do.
you'll press R2, and I think that you've got your 3 choices. Then you can pick. We'll have a little look in a minute.
I might change my midfielder there. He's a bit messy.
Then Donker comes. You just swap them round, if anything. There you go. Then Donker comes. Yeah, so basically they're in for. He's come in. He said to they've said to the manager, "You haven't got any funds." The chairman, who is Simon Corney, haven't got any funds.
Great follow on Twitter.
But yeah, Gareth Townsend is an Oldham fan. He said, "Shaq Sheridan today. Results weren't good enough, apparently. However, there's the investment talk with an agent from Dubai, and the club have magically now signed players on free transfers, where before there were no wages available." They were wanted by They weren't wanted by the manager. The manager said he didn't even know they'd signed until they turned up to training. And his question then led on to, we're in the Reader's Wives section now.
Yeah,
that's the ram down. The ram down.
I like that. Solomon Ramdown.
Do boards and politics interfere too much with football? Why can't managers just be left to do their job and coach the players they want to coach?
Because there's too much on the line.
So my answer to that is because that's two different things. In England, that term has been interchangeable when we talk about managers and what have you. And there's that really old-fashioned system of where we have managers in England, but generally everywhere else in the world, you have a first-team coach. That's what you'll be. Yeah. That's what you'll be there to do. And your job, you are paid and employed to. You got that one. You're paid and employed to coach the players that are given to you. So the sporting director or the general manager would pick the based on a set of shared metrics or a style of play that they wish to implement, or that the club wish the manager to implement. Very similarly to the way that it works in the NBA. So in American basketball, generally what happens is that each of the clubs have an identity, and they, in many of the managers' contracts, actually have a stipulation that they play very similarly to the team style. Like it's actually one of their KPI. So what you have is you'll have a 1 year. The first contract will actually be one year jobby, with the option for the manager or the club to break based on a number of things. So are they good enough? But heavily linked into that is whether they fit the style of play. Yeah. And so that's how you can have things at a team like Chelsea, you can churn through managers and what have you. So Chelsea have got that structure. It almost doesn't matter who's managing Chelsea. I mean, it does at the highest end, but it doesn't matter who manages Chelsea because the squad is there. Real Madrid for 4 or 5 years, it didn't matter who managed Real Madrid. They would still just do, exactly. And the other thing with that is, well, you fall out with the manager, or your players fall out with the manager, and I know you can argue that it is not the right way to do it, but you fall out with your manager or a couple of your key players, like Casillas and Ramos and what have you, fall out with your manager, you fucking get rid of him.
What's the other end of the spectrum? Arsene Wenger.
The other, I mean, there's a man who's literally cemented into his throat. Not literally cemented into his throat. I mean, if he was literal. I mean, if he was literally cemented,
what have I missed?
It would explain why he wears that huge duffel coat, and it's to cover the Armitage Shanks toilet that he's cemented himself into. This is a lovely day.
Lovely shadow cast there, isn't it?
Oh,
beautiful cast shadow.
But yeah, who's in charge at the minute on a temporary basis?
At Oldham?
Yeah.
Barry Fry.
No. It's at random. They're just Richie Wellens. Remember Richie Wellens?
I remember the name. I couldn't say anything about him.
You know Richie.
United youth team, but was Portsmouth, I believe. Let's get on his old...
Welly. There's 3 brothers. Welly.
But yeah, Richie Wellens, old champ man. It's just his Wikipedia page just says English footballer. Richie Wellens is an English former professional footballer who primarily played as central midfielder. He's currently first team coach at Oldham Athletic. Began his career at Manchester United.
See, first team coach. There we go.
That must have been implemented. Ooh. But yeah, he started his career at United, like I said, before signing for Blackpool in 2000, when he went on to win promotion from League 2 via the playoffs. Then he left for Oldham. Then he went back to Then he went to Doncaster. His time at Doncaster came to an end in 2009 after he had helped the club to consolidate their championship position as he moved to Leicester City. And then Ipswich. But yeah, he's in. He's in, but I thought it was quite interesting. I thought, the whole takeover bid. And it's Oldham, we don't usually talk about,
We haven't talked about the... What are they called? What's their...
Lactics, isn't it?
No,
that's Lactics.
That's Wigan, and that's Lactics, not the Lactics is a kind of muscular acid.
It'd be the Lactics.
Oh, yeah. They make a boob of themselves.
Do you want some more reasons why?
Loads.
Right, because I could start doing a roundup of fantasy football as well while you're still playing.
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, let's do it. In fact, if we could,
let's do it.
So you've got 75 in-game minutes to wrap everything up. So we could do we could almost be professional.
Okay, right. Next reasons why comes from Raj Mukabala, one on Twitter, who's got in touch before, regular, watching on YouTube now. He says, what are your thoughts on players having random shirt numbers? Now, before you answer, I said to him when he messaged me, I said, I reckon I could answer that question on behalf of all three of us now, but I'll bring it up for you. He used Robson Carnu, number 4.
Yeah.
He said, it does my head in. I then said, well, quite a few of us were actually quite excited about Renato Sanchez when he had his original shirt number. My answer was going to be, well, I think all of us are for it, and it needs to be more of it. And the Premier League, it's the Premier League or the FA who said that it had to be sort of.
It's the FA.
In a certain, fuck me. They hire Mark Sampson, but they won't let Renato Sanchez have 132 on the back of his shirt. What fucking difference do they make?
Exactly. People that care about shirt numbers are essentially paedophile caretakers and people who vote for Brexit.
Nice. So there you go, Raj.
There you go, Raj.
I thought, he said he doesn't like. We've talked about this before.
Well, I'm assuming with a name like Raj, he's fairly into, widespread cultural immigration. So I'm assuming that must mean that he's a pedo caretaker.
That must be. By process of elimination.
If not yet, there's his next career step.
That's where it is.
Donnarumma 99. Boom.
Caring about fucking.
It doesn't matter.
Honestly, do you know who cares about squad numbers? Why not? Genuinely, who cares about squad numbers? It will be people like. Neil Warnock, Sean Dyche will care about having his centre half playing in the right numbers.
Do you reckon we'd have a pop at it as well? I don't reckon Carragher's going to love it.
Jamie, exactly. I swear to God, that it doesn't fucking matter. And Jamie Carragher would also be the person who would moan about that kind of numbering, and then in the next breath would say, "Wow, it's a squad game." Yeah. It's like, right. So that's how that works then, isn't it? You have a squad of people. As if numbers, sweet mother of God.
Yeah.
It's for paedophile caretakers and Brexit voters.
Brexit voters.
People who voted to leave the European Union.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. I quite like it. I like seeing the AC Milan team a few years ago where they put out their first team. None of them had any numbers.
Any numbers 1 to 11, yeah.
I thought it was lovely.
There are some interesting quirks though. So in France, it's not a rule, but most. Oh no, do you know? In fact, it might actually be a rule. All substitute goalkeepers have number 13.
Do they?
The second,
Oh.
That was either on the post or pushed onto the post. I hit the post from there. Wow. So the
Nakamura.
Very good. Very good. We had Samaras earlier, so why not? He's got a hell of a free kick at Man United, didn't he? In the Champions League.
He went hell of it.
Good footballer.
Yeah, really good. The next question, which will lead us on to the last topic of the evening, is from the Gormleysaurus. He's busy watching Chelsea tonight, isn't he? He says, what will last longer? My interest in fantasy football or Liverpool's hopes of winning the title this season?
Well, I'm assuming that both of those have ended now, so I mean they are one and the same, are they not?
He wasn't, as we said last week, he went Ben Davies as his captain and he wasn't happy with the decision.
Well,
because Ben Davies didn't.
It's basically all a bit of pop.
There are only two types of people that put Ben Davies as their captain.
Are you a caretaker?
People who care about shirt numbers.
Oh,
yeah.
So that leads nicely on to the last point of order.
Oh fuck! I thought he was
which is the fantasy football roundup for this week. I'm assuming everyone's checked.
Yeah, it's my fucking new homepage.
Yeah.
I don't even know what one it is. Is it the Budweiser one?
No, Barclays.
Okay.
I'm assuming, I'd you say this, but I bet you've already set the notifications.
Who, me?
Definitely.
You were sat there going, Tammy.
This is what I love. I love when people get to that point where they've known me slightly long enough where they think that my personality might be contrived for effect, and then it takes another 3 years, and people are like, "Oh my god, no, he really is that fucking miserable." Like, no, there's no way. Like, couldn't give a flying fuck.
You've got 25 mil in the bank.
I've got 25 mil in the bank.
Oh,
I'm laughing.
Unlucky. Oh,
that's bloody exciting, isn't it?
That was exciting as fuck.
That was a skirmish.
Right, I'm not. Kevin Kennedy is back at the top.
Boo! Okay, no, don't boo him.
Shit.
I won't boo him.
What was his secret?
I just don't know his side.
Ben Davies is captain.
Yeah, David Silva. He's got the Aguero, Lukaku, and Kane front three. Like
there's novel. Nobody's done that.
He had Aguero captain, De Gea in goal, and David Silva. So it's David Silva, Aguero, Kane, Lukaku, De Gea. Just had a good all-round week. He had 78 points.
How's Man Spooksville United?
76 I had this week.
Good.
After my wild card.
Are you happy you wild carded?
It was, yeah, I am. It was good. Monreal got me 7 points, clean sheet, and he got bonus for the third week in a row.
Got me a couple of bonuses as well.
Yeah.
Shows you well happy.
Third week in a row now. Monreal's got me bonus points.
Do you know another bonus goal machine?
Yeah.
One Philip Jones.
Yeah.
He reels them in.
Problem with United is I don't trust them to keep clean sheets. I can't believe they've kept as many as they have already, to be fair. I had Aaron Ramsey in my side. He got me an assist.
He did.
Because I was going to get Salah in, but I decided against it. I brought Gross in, who got not much except participation points and clean sheet.
Hey, they're still
Eriksen scored. Aguero.
You come good then.
Yeah, so I had Eriksen, Monreal clean sheet, then I had Ramsey.
There you go. So once you've put once you've chosen your custom ones, you hold it down, and then you have got your third, so you can pick whatever you do there.
That's good.
Sorry to interrupt then.
I like that. It's a really nice feature, that. It does make the game flow nicely as well.
Well, as you said, not a single pause in 2 hours, really.
No. Eriksen scored, Kane got 2, and I had him as my captain. Accidental captain. I thought I put it on Aguero, but I didn't. I left it on Kane.
So when Aguero started smashing him in.
Aguero got the 1, and Kane had already played at this point. I didn't realise that I had Kane captain until Liverpool-Leicester was on. But he got 2. Lukaku scored, Aguero, I did quite well. I want to have a look this week at the goal. So I've moved up to 4th. Kevin's up to 1st. Gareth Townsend. Do you remember his squad?
Yes,
we got 6
indeed.
and 7.
Bloody old Andros's mate.
Yes, indeed.
We got Morata as captain. 34 points.
Big time.
Is that a lot?
Yeah, 34. We got hat-trick. So we got double what he got because he's captain.
Has he got Mustafi in well, so that sums that up then. If you're going to pick any Arsenal defender, it wouldn't be Mustafi. Should have given away a penalty.
Mkhitaryan, Firmino, Chicharito. Oh, Chicharito, we didn't talk about that. He scored again. So he's 3 goals now for the season. Yeah, he's 3 goals for the season.
That's what he's going to get.
So
consolation goals.
He's getting closer to our sort of unofficial, vague 8 goals. Conservative 8. He's still quite a long way off from getting Ashley's 20 that was predicted. 20 goals a season. That's pretty seven, isn't it? It said he'll get you at least 20 goals a season.
Yeah, at least 20 goals a season.
At least 20 goals a season. Well, he's got 3 so far. And
having never scored 20 goals in his career.
Yeah, never. So we have Morata captain. Annoyingly, he had Davis and Nathan Ake on the...
Nathan Ake, yeah.
Playing. But he had me and Daniels on the bench. They both got clean sheets.
You?
No.
Me?
Yeah.
You on the bench.
Me?
Me.
Yeah, me.
You on the bench. Were you speaking as Edison Cavani again then?
You channeling him.
The man he...
Who are you? I'm me. No, who are you?
Your football-based schizophrenia is getting increasingly difficult. It's like doing a podcast with Andy Gorham.
Yeah.
I can't keep up.
So if he'd had them in his side, he would have actually had 79 points for the week. Good week. Let's have a look at the Gormleysaurus. The Gormleysaurus. So he captain this week. Where the fuck is he?
Wow.
There he is. 61.
That's it, I'm done.
You done with the draw, yeah?
That goal was so good.
I'm kicking off now.
What's it, you watch all 3 replays?
But it was just a draw.
If you're watching on Facebook, you really need to get.
It's just a draw, that's what he's moaning. Have a look at this.
Just to dress 67, yeah.
Have a look at this.
Oh,
You need to see that in real time.
that is lovely.
Chris Armstrong. He hasn't scored a better goal than that in years. Since when he was at Tottenham. He stood there thinking, it's just a draw.
Just a draw.
It's just a draw. What a goal. Matt. In FIFA 18 you get 2 goals for... You get 2 for good goals.
I can't believe it's taken us 12 weeks where I finally got you to play Celtic.
I like Celtic.
Every week I say Scottish in the round. Every week I say.
Yeah, but that's because you say, do you want to play like Arbroath against Celtic or
Cowden Beef?
That's what we usually got to go with.
You do say, do you want to play like Cowden Beef versus Wraith Rovers? And like basically it's slump into our seats. It really is.
When I did see them playing Anderlecht, I did think, oh, we might actually have a Scottish team on this week.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with that, but
right, the Gormleysaurus, bravely, I think out of necessity. No, actually, not out of necessity. The Gormleysaurus this week played 5 at the back.
alright.
Played 5 for each, and 3 of those were Man City players. He's got Edison in goal, who got 6 points. He's got Mendy, who may or may not have ruptured his ACL.
I get that comment.
Yeah, we're not sure yet.
And why aren't you sure about that?
Well, Duncan Castles.
He's going to see someone, a specialist in
Duncan
France.
Castles tweeted out that apparently he's seen one. He's seen a specialist, and there's
According to Duncan Castle, who's
Duncan Castles,
who's Jose Mourinho's best friend.
Yeah, he's there's worry because they think he's ruptured his ACL. And then Mendy tweeted him and said, "You've got journalist in your bio, but it should say doctor because you've diagnosed me. I haven't even seen a specialist yet. How do you know this?"
Yeah, he's like, I don't even know that I got.
Yeah, I haven't even got a ruptured ACL. And have you seen the follow-up to that?
No, that's I've only seen episode 1.
Yeah, episode 2 is Duncan Castles then tweeted him. Tweeted him he tweeted him basically the tweet, but in French.
Right, well that's good of Duncan to have translated for a man who was already managing in a second language.
Yeah, and within that translation, he calls him Bernard Mendy. And Mendy tweeted back saying, "I don't know who that is, my name's Benjamin." Yep. So that's a thing that actually happened on Twitter today.
The Santi Cazorla one was like heartbreaking as it is.
Oh, it's super interesting though. That's a good tweet. Do you know who's a good follow? FIFA Ramble.
FIFA Ramble. And
I hear they're good.
Follow on Twitter at FIFA Ramble. Some of the Gormleysaurus is solid. From Morata up front, but even 5 at the back. Otamendi was his captain this week. He continued his bold decision to captain a defender, and it paid off. He got 12 points. If he captained Morata, though, he would have had 34. So, I think I've only got 1 real-time FIFA minute. So let's get to the let's get to multiple scoregasms.
Yeah, an excellent name. Who came up with that?
Yeah. So Wormside, Fabianski, Fabianski in goal, 1 point.
Yeah, he didn't do much.
He conceded 2 and didn't do many saves. Holgate played, got you 2 points. Peters didn't play.
Eric Peters!
Yeah, 0.
Sorry, it is the
Oh
wrong
no, sorry, he did play, but they got hammered 4-0.
Eric Peters played.
So he got no points because he had
And
all
then
his
you
points deducted. Cedric got only 2 points. Romeo got 2.
Messing me off again there. Love the finish.
Loftus-Cheek 2.
He's looking pretty
Nathaniel
good.
Chalabar.
He
looks very good. He looks very good. From a fantasy football point of view.
Yeah, because he's right behind the striker and he's playing him.
Yeah, he could come good. I think for 4.5 million, he's very good. Chalabar injured, didn't play. Burke injured, didn't play. Kalachi won. He only played 16 minutes.
Yeah.
Against Liverpool. Did he go off injured? Or did he come on?
No, he came on. I'm pretty sure.
Then we get to the up front. Macaulay's still your captain, but he didn't play.
Okay.
So your captain, because your vice captain's Tammy Abraham.
Yeah.
So you got 16 points
Kicking
this
it
week.
up.
He scored. He played 45 minutes, so you got a point. 4 points for the goal. 3 points bonus. So you got 16 points this week for Tammy Abraham, and Andre Gray scored as well. He got 2 bonus points, 2 points for minutes played, and 1 for goal. So you've got
goal again.
34. That is lovely.
34 points.
34 points this week.
Okay. So that's as many as the sheep that put Morata in alone.
Yep.
That's disappointing.
So
if I factor in the fact that I've got 5.4 million or something like that, is what you said, wasn't it? In my bank,
yeah,
I'm still top.
Yeah, you're still top.
Right, that's good.
You've spent the least amount of money of anyone, and you. The chances are you're going to get overtaken. You're not bottom, but Cass Putri is bottom, but he got 72 points this week.
Yeah, bloody good week.
He played his wild card as well, so he brought in Silva.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. That's why I sheep a lot of you.
Yeah.
Putting in players that are going to get you points.
Yeah.
Kind of mugs you.
Right, how long have we been going for then?
That's it. No, we've nailed it. To be fair, he was pretty spot on. You were excellent. Yeah. I think we drew all night, didn't we? I
think so.
That's it. Yeah, that was it.
Didn't hammer me on the counter attack like yesterday.
Oh, that was good.
It wasn't good watching at lunchtime, I tell you.
So yeah, no, I think that's enough. That's really good.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching. You say goodbye then, man.
Yeah. Say goodbye to that lot.
And this is the bit where now YouTube get extra and Facebook don't.
Adios, thank you, goodbye.
Thanks very much. So Facebook are gone. It's just us and the important ones now.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for watching. Honestly, if you didn't watch the review of FIFA 18 last night, it was very good. Enjoyed it.
Well, it was very similar to this, but it's just me and you.
Nah, it was better.
Much better.
It
was
more
1/3 better. I think so it was.
As my wife put it, she said, "Oh, it's flowing better. No dead wood." That's what she said last night. It's really good. It was last night. I enjoyed it.
Talking about your dead wood. Well, and that even hasn't happened yet.
2 weeks tomorrow. 2 weeks tomorrow.
Good lord.
We can say goodbye.
The dead wood.
I know we can say goodbye to it live on stream in 2 weeks' time.
What, are you going to have Cummins and David Seaman playing? You can have it all.
I've got 4 days off for that. I've got disorders. 4 days off. So I'll be wheeling my no good. There'll be a knock at the door and it'll be me with a shopping bag holding them.
That's fine.
And nothing else on.
That's what the cool box is for. Oh no, I've got it up here already.
No danger.
No danger.
Yeah, no, honestly, give it a watch. It's really good. But yeah, thanks for watching. And stick around now. Watch the outro, for fuck's sake. It's the best thing about the podcast.
By some distance.
Yeah, it's really good. But yeah, thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. Follow us on Twitter and all that jazz.
All right.
Welcome to another great game of football. If you like action, you're in for a treat here.
It's up for grabs now! Thomas!
take a bow, son. I mean that, take a bow.
It was just banter. Thank you, Sampson. You boys took the hell of a beating.
Oh no! Scorchio! How did he miss?
Balotelli, Aguero!
Come on, fam. Real talk, lad.
Lovely cushion header. For Gerrard! You beauty! What a head, son! What a head!
Look at this touch. Wonderful. Rates his look, but then he sees the tiniest window open.
Gol del Barcelona.
Morocco moving it infield, creating space now. He's taking on the defence by himself.
Giggs gets past Vieira, past Dixon. Comes back at him. It's a wonderful run from Giggs! Sensational goal from Ryan Giggs!
Madrid's defence stretched out like spandex on Miami Beach, and Casillas is left naked. Again.
You try kicking the goal, you hit me? Some fucking brains, didn't you?
When the seagulls follow the trawler, it's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea.
Henry para Messi. Messi, el pase para Henry es buenísimo. Henry. Gol. Gol. He did it again. And it's the end.